Sorry guys, I'm starting kind of late today. Train was late. I wanted to do this live in Central Park this time, just for a change of scenery. I want to show you guys my shirt real quick. Hey. I'm gonna release these shirts at a later date, but right now we still in Manhattan right now. I'm trying to get out. I'll start the live when we get to Central Park. But for now, I'll let you look at this. Should be at the park in like 5 minutes or so. Let me know how you guys are feeling. Let me know how you guys are doing. So many people out here. I guess they really are loving the fact that their restrictions are down. Yeah, we're pretty much gonna do, man. We're going to touch on the story of them getting to the promised land, because I didn't actually really I forgot that it was spoken about in second Achee, or Brother of Jared, book 2. I forgot that they spoke about that. So I was reading it this morning and I was like, wow, like this would be a great thing to touch on. So as soon as we get to the park, I'm gonna touch on it. Oh, I might get flagged for showing that man-woman thing. Yeah, it's crazy out here, man. It's crazy out here. Seeing one of these cyborgs is honestly, it's like a norm at this point. Yeah, I'm not even affected about it anymore. Like, when I just see, one of them, don't even affect me.
Because I know now when you
So again, we'll start as soon as we get to the park. It should be soon. You can always count on the city to see lots of different tourists and people. But this is what actually disgusts me about this place, is because everyone comes here for no reason. There's nothing to see here. Like, really, this is what you want to see? Like, people come for this? Like, this is disgusting. What is there to see? I don't get it. Shabbat Shalom, brother and fam nation. Blessed day to all. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for stopping by. We'll start soon. I'm just walking to the park. I'll start my music and everything. I'm just gonna have a chill one, man. But we're gonna speak on some really important stuff. Yeah, bro, like, why the hell do people come here? Like, if anyone has visited New York, like, please let me know if you enjoyed your stay, or your expectations were let down. Like, let me know what happened, because I don't get it. I don't get the appeal. Shabbat Shalom, brother Unifier and beloved family. All praise to the Most High. Hey, bro, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you. Much love, much love. Gonna be getting soon. Just trying to walk to this Central Park, and we gonna get it cracking. People looking at me like I'm absolutely crazy because of my shirt. If you guys didn't see my shirt, I'm gonna show you one more time. I made it myself. Right here, the true motherland. Feel me? And I got my oh, my bad. Also got the, I don't know if you see that. Got that as well. So
We always say, like,
yeah, people looking at me like I'm absolutely weird, and that's okay. That's perfectly okay. Excuse me. Shalom on my lunch break. Oh man, you gotta work today. That sucks, but thank you for coming by on your lunch. I'm trying to walk as fast as I can, but the train, they did not stop me over here at Central Park. They skipped the stop. I don't know why, but we're almost there. Was there as a child and felt the fantasy as an adult? I see the illusion. It is, yeah. Oh, you said it perfectly. It is a fantasy. Same way how we find like the Disney movies as being fantasies until we find out that they're actually like sexualizing the movies low-key, putting phallic symbols and like it's crazy. Like seriously, a bunch of perverts. And that's literally what this place is. You know? It's a place made by perverts to pervert minds. Great shirt, brother. Thank you. I'm gonna unveil the rest. I'm gonna unveil the other designs. I just don't know what I'm gonna do with it. But I want to give people the opportunity, you know, to get a shirt like that if they want to. Your shirt looks great on camera. It does. And that's why people, they feel the need to come here because it looks so great on camera. They make it look so pristine, and it's garbage everywhere. It stinks. People are rude. They get their reality check. You know? It's demonic place. Again, I think this place is truly Babylon, bro. Let me hurry up and cross the street. The hell? Medical choice is a human right? What are they even like? I don't even.
That's why we have a demonstration here to expose CCP
I don't even know what the hell's going on, but my patients be dropping bombs. They keep telling me that it's one big continent and Hawaii is bigger than we know, is bigger than America, and maybe that connects the Asia Minor area. Didn't I say that? Whoa, what the hell? What? Are you kidding me? They said that? That's wild, man. I want one. I got you. Soon though, soon. I'm gonna release the shirt soon. I just have to find something that's cost efficient because these were real expensive to make. And I don't really like that. So I'm gonna have to find a different way. I'm talking about very important people that top-notch jobs. I'm not kidding. Oh my God, I didn't know you said that. Oh my God, bombshell dropping. Okay, please do email me. Well, yeah, I said that what they're calling Hawaii, but they knew it as Hawaii, was also Lemuria, and Lemuria was connected to South America at some point. And it's probably the biggest continent that no one has ever seen. Anyway, let's start this music up and let's get started. Let me just get away from the street. Let me get more inner into the park, and we gonna chill. What made the shirt expensive is me having to order it, going to some like local printing store, then buying fringes and the border. Then my sister, I have her sew it on. Like, that's real expensive. So I have to figure out a different way. Wasn't it also connected to Atlantis as well, brother? Well, I'm saying that Atlantis is South America. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that whatever, like the story of the city of Atlantis, which is a city in South America, was in Lake Titicaca and it sunk. That's kind of my theory on it. They also have these horses here in Central Park. I don't get this. These poor animals, man. Anyway. Let's begin. Just got to get set up first. Wait a minute. Okay. Everything connected, and he said the world is 75% volcanic. What? Most I keep putting people in my path to help me connect more dots. He keeps putting people like you in my path to help me connect more dots. Alright, you about to be vibing. Alright, let me get out this book. There's a lot more people here than I thought there would be. I'm gonna chill on this rock for a bit, just so I can get the book out. Yeah, Abdullah, he did a few videos on Central Park. You guys should check them out. Could be on a ley line right now. I wouldn't know.
Pelo reino celestial, pelo sol que nos aquece, daremos extensão do coração da mãe terra.
What, the stone or the park? Regarding it being pretty. Okay, so as I said in the beginning, I was reading some of this book. I don't know why, I don't know what made me want to start reading this book again. But while I was reading it, I was like, yo, this is a great example that we can follow regarding how, we make decisions, how we act. Because righteousness truly is based on a mindset. It's more than what you actually do. It's a mindset behind it. And that's like the main theme behind this first chapter in second Achee, the first chapter. So we'll start. You can tell me, you guys let me know if the music is too loud. Greenery, yep, that stone as well. Walk barefoot on it. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. But not right now, because I'm about to move. I'm only gonna read like a few verses and I'm gonna keep walking. But maybe when I get settled again. Now the record of the brother of Jared continues on this wise. In the land of Shinar, the Kadeshoi watched from the hills, and the clouds, and the wind, and the rocks, as a man and his rib made their way back toward their lair from their sacred altar of prayer. Now, the land of Shinar, if you guys don't know, I believe that this actually really was in Turkey, right? And what this is referring to Achee and Tipharah. Achee, he's our brethren. He comes from Shem. And pretty much the Most High is going to lead him and his family to the Americas from Turkey. And Achee cradled his new infant, Nakash, in his arms, and he gently gave aid to Tipharah, his wife, by reason of her weakness. And thus did the vision of Nakash burst forth into the world as a part of the voice of the Most High, according or unto his father and mother. And when they arrived at their lair, the child was hidden from the light of the sun until the morning of the appointed day. And Tipharah said, "What does it mean that this child was born in the midst of the word of God to us?" And the eyes of a mother were opened, and she said, "Surely he was not born to live out his vision from God in this land. For did not the Lord bring you his word, that we are to depart straight away out of this place?" And Achee said, "The word of the Lord was clear. We must make all things ready to depart, whithersoever the Most High will lead us, even if it be that he will lead us away from the land of our fathers and our home and inheritance among the Kadeshoi of this place." So, what did all this say? This is what I got out of this. First of all, if you guys remember when I covered the Hopi, that's literally what they do. They keep their children. I'm about to move, that's why I'm like all over the place, but they keep their children hidden. They keep their children hidden until it's the appointed day for their child to see the actual sunlight. So I caught on to that while I read that the first time. Now, they knew that their child was pretty much not supposed to be, or is not supposed to grow up in the land of pretty much of Turkey. So they took him. They decided to leave because of their child. Now, what did that take initially? That's going to take a lot of faith in the part of Achee and Tipharah, to leave their house, right? To leave their stuff and just go based on a whim, based on faith. And that's pretty big. So that's something that I wanted to point out. And you're going to see this constant theme, right? You're going to see this constant theme in this chapter. Let's keep going. Sorry, it's hard to turn pages. Yeah, that's what Abraham did exactly. People look at me like I'm crazy, bro. Like, what the hell? We got another one. Damn, these stones big. All right, sorry guys, I had the phone in my mouth. So let's continue. From that moment in her heart as a mother, Tipharah knew that she had given birth to a child, destined to live out his vision of created purpose in some unknown and distant land, which is the Americas. And she prophesied and said, "His name shall be Nakash, because he was quietly..." What the hell? Hold on. I'll reread it, don't worry. Sorry, my speaker messing up right now. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's continue. And she prophesied and said, his name shall be Nekash, because he was quieted, by the song of the dance, and because of this righteousness of that name, which says God will have his way, the birth of this child and the showing forth of his vision is the word of the Most High unto this land. For this place will become dreadful, which is the area of Turkey, because that's where they built their tower, the Tower of Babel. And from this place, man will pervert the ways of righteousness and have his way in the stead of the Most High. And sin shall go forth from this land before the face of the Most High, for a great length of days upon this earth. And the song of the dance shall leave this people for a multitude of days. And the voice of the Erkadesh was in the wind, and they spoke of a land that was fresh and clean before the Lord, who is the father of all the Erkadesh. Notwithstanding from what land they may be, it seemed to her that it was like unto going back to Eden, to be with the mother of the dance. Now it had come to pass not long before this, that the Spirit of God had wrought heavily upon all the Erkadesh in the land of Shinar. And the hearts of all the people could not escape the voice of the Most High in the Erkadesh. Yea, both the righteous and the wicked alike had their hearts and souls penetrated. And they heard and felt the news as it drifted across the land, like the dawning light of a new day. Shalom, thank you for stopping by. So, Tipharah would not have known any of this if she did not listen to the Erkadesh, to the elements, right? So this seems to be something or some sort of skill that we have lost, and hopefully we can regain someday. But this seems to be a very important skill. You know how the natives, like, they'll see like different animals and signs and say, oh, well, this means this. Yeah, I think that's some of what we've lost, right? So that could be something that someone or anyone could pray about. They could pray about how to understand their language, their signs. Maybe the Most High will lead one of you guys to get the information. And you could give it to me, and then I can share it. If you guys want to do that, that would be cool. Okay. Let me see. Oh, also, how the Most High, he used their Kadeshoi to penetrate the hearts of both the righteous and the wicked while they were in the land of Shinar. And what that pretty much means is that, he was trying to get their attention. And that's exactly what he's doing right now. All these different floods and, everything that he's doing right now. He's trying to get their attention.
Awesome. Well, have a nice day.
There you go. Yeah, you're here. I got Ziggy after you. You got a long ride ahead.
This is tough, man. I should have brought my sister with me to carry some of this stuff. This is hard. Damn, what the heck is this stuff, man? You see these rocks? Alright. Shalom, what's going on, my bro Chief Fatali? Thank you for stopping by. Let's continue, because Chief, we're actually talking about how pretty much the children of Lud, how they got to the Americas. We're also going to be touching on the first dynasty of China. It all ties into this lesson, so it should be of some sort of interest to you. So, let me see. And the righteous began to be stirred in their hearts, for now the hills and the streams and grass of the field, and even the wind began to feel old and tired. And they together had a leaving feeling that could not be shaken off, but it grew upon the souls of all men with each passing day. And their familiar places began to feel like a house of strangers, and the feeling to move out into the unknown began to descend upon the inhabitants of the land, like the shadow of a passing cloud. And the voice of the holy watchers was saying goodbye to all the righteous both day and night. And all the earth in that land began to be dominated by the voice of the holy watchers. Now it came to pass that the response of the righteous was to make ready and to heed the voices that we're hearing. And they began to strike out across the land and thrust their lives into the hands of the Most High, who they knew was in the midst of the holy watchers or the Erkadeshoi. So, what can we learn from this, man? To have true faith is to put your hands or your life in the hands of the Most High. Not to half-ass something, right? You have to literally say, you know what? I don't know where you're going to take me, but I'll follow you wherever you're going to take me, pretty much. And that's the trick of it, bro. Hebrew from Bangladesh, salute to the videos you put out. I've been searching for the Indian Hebrew connection. Oh, man. I was going to get into that until my laptop broke down. So hopefully when I'm able to get another one, I'll touch on that. But yes, many of our people are in, those lands, such as like Bangladesh and stuff like that. They definitely are. And I didn't even realize that until, I was researching more and more. Now that's true faith. Yes, it is. And that's honestly the only type of faith, because all other types of faith are kind of fake. Those are faith on your terms. That's not real faith. What book is he reading? I'll let you know. This one right here. Let me see. But the wicked were filled with dread, and they would not disperse until their wickedness was come to the full. And they sought to band together to determine what they should do. And thus were all the inhabitants of the land stirred up. And it came to pass that nearly one half of all the people who were dispersed into unknown lands, being led by the voice of the Most High and the holy watchers or the Erkadeshoi, and the wicked who remained determined that their course would be to fight against that which entered into their hearts from the Most High. And Semihaza whispered into the ears of those who were his own, that they could make a home in the midst of the earth, where they need not pay heed to the voice of the holy watchers. Oh, I missed my spot. Oh, and he told them that they could make new gods that would be very good, for they would obey the desires of their hearts, in whatsoever manner they choose. And those who heard it declared it unto all the people, that now they were free to have new gods made of wood or stone. Each man could make them according to his need and according to his will. So this is incredible. But this is how it works. This is why I say the Most High is not doing anything malicious. You do it to yourself. Whatever's in your heart, that's what's going to come out. Pretty much what's going on is that he actually wanted to bring people to the promised land, to the Americas. He gave them a chance, right? That's why he was stirring it up in their hearts for them to leave that land and go to the Americas. His favorite land, his ideal land, right? And the righteous, only they were able to understand that message. The wicked saw it as an attack on them. Ain't that something? And their answer to that was to be even more wicked. And that's literally what's happening right now. As we just went over last night, the righteous are being more righteous and the wicked are being more wicked. And that's what's going to continue to happen, because this is the energy that's coming on this earth, man. One second, just changing the song.
Like literally, she was.
All right. Let me see if there's any comments. Yeah, bro, 100. All right. Aloha, my brother. Hey, what's going on, man? Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for stopping by. Aloha to you too. All right, let's go. Let me see. And thus were idols born by those who rebelled fully against the ancient religion of Enoch. And the wicked determined that in their course would be to band together and bring back the greatness of those who brought forth the Nephilim. And they would make themselves a name, like unto them of old who were powerful and greatly feared by all the people. And they determined that even through the earth no longer felt like home to them, and they would make their own home. So because the Most High is making them pretty much want to leave their habitations, they took it as, oh, God doesn't want us on this earth anymore. Like, what the hell? So they took it in that way. And because they took it in that way, they decided to bring forth or back the Nephilim to worship them. It's crazy, man. Like, this stuff's crazy. Let's continue. And they said they would build a city after the manner and likeness of the city of Enoch, who was the seed of Cain. So it's not talking about Seth Enoch, it's talking about the wicked Enoch. Right? And in their city, they would build a great tower that would reach to heaven. And it would be a home for their idols. And it could be seen from all the regions round about. So every man could know of their greatness. This all came because they misinterpreted what, the Most High was trying to tell them. And because they initially misinterpreted it, Semi-Haz was able to sneak in and tell them to do all this stupid stuff. And this is kind of how things work, man. So they start building a Tower of Babel so that they could fight against, quote unquote, God, when the Most High was just trying to lead them to the Holy Land. It's crazy how stuff works like that, man. I hate the fact that they have the same names in the spoiled seed bloodline. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird that they did that. But that's what they do. They try to, predate things and hijack things before they come. They probably knew an Enoch was coming, so they named someone Enoch. Right? They knew that the Messiah was coming, so they came up with all these different deities to predate the Messiah when they already knew that he was going to come. So that's kind of how things work, for whatever reason. All right, hold on. Babel, aka confusion. Yep. That's right. That's what Babel means. All right, let me see. I'm not playing from a playlist, I'm playing from my Google Drive. Because I wanted to play that. Whoa. Sorry about that. Music's kind of loud. All right, let's continue. And it came to pass that it was in this way that all the settlements and villages and encampments in the land were left without inhabitant. For either they departed out of the land, being led by the hand of the Lord, or they went to build the great tower, to make themselves a name upon the earth. And thus were all the affairs of the people changed in a short space of time. Now Achee and Tipharah dwelt north of the tower, many days' journey. And it was in the rolling hills in the land of Noah. And Tipharah could feel a great change come upon the herbs of the field and in all the Kadeshway. And in their well of water was urgent upon them not to remain in that place. And little Pagag said, Mother, why has the food become sour in my mouth? And the fish of the streams avoided them, which was not as it was before. And their fires were not excited to come to life. So the Kadeshway are rebelling in this land. Why? Because the Most High is telling them to leave, right? Now they took it as that. They didn't take it as, oh, the Most High hates us, let's go fight against him. No, they took it as, oh, we gotta leave. You know, he has a better plan for us. You know how people be saying that, right? Oh, God has a plan for you. But it's true. He had a plan for them. And Nizera said, Mother, the hills feel like they belong to a stranger. And it came to pass in this way, the Spirit of the Most High wrought upon the land, insomuch that even the little children would declare it, and the people were called to go, to leave and disperse their lives. And it came to pass that Achee and Tipharah went with a heavy heart to their holy place to tell it goodbye. And the rocks of witness knew in their knowing. Now the affairs of the people were after this manner. The righteous prepared diligently and with care to depart out of the land, and it was not in haste. And they did not despair, for the trust and hope was in their Father. Right? So they did not despair with the fact that they now have to leave their home. They saw it as an adventure that he was going to give them way better, way more. And you're gonna see this as a constant theme, because even when they leave this land and go to a beautiful lush land, they still have faith that he's going to provide even better for them, no matter what. And that's the type of faith that we have to have. One second. I'm gonna bring you with me. Where are you bringing me? What are you talking about? Let me see. Now the affairs of the people were after this manner. The righteous prepared diligently and with care to depart out of the land. And it was not in haste, and they did not despair, for their trust and hope was in the Lord, that he would go beside them. Yea, he would watch over them, even whithersoever they went. And they were diligent to set all things in order, according to the needs of their family. And the voice of the Lord unto them. But the wicked were alarmed at the forces at work in the midst of the Kadeshway, and they fled in dismay from their homes to join themselves with the builders of the tower. So there's the difference, bro. The wicked, they're pessimistic, they're cynical. You know, they always think that, you know, the Most High is against them. They're always playing the victim, pretty much. The victim mentality comes from, you know, a lack of faith, and it comes from, you know, you just not loving yourself enough. You not realizing that the Most High loves you to the point where he's not going to do anything. He's not just gonna mess with you. Like, he's just not up in the sky and saying like like a kid playing with action figures. Like, that's not what he's doing. He's actually treating us with a lot of care and a lot of respect. And when we realize this, we can make a lot better decisions in our lives. So let's continue. Oh, these flies keep buzzing around me. Okay. Now it came to pass that Lud and all his children, except Achee, were encamped among the builders. Now, if you guys don't know, Lud is the son of Shem. That is who Lud is, right? But Lud had more children than just Achee and Jared. He had more than 2 sons. It's just that those were the 2 sons who came to the Americas. That's the difference. But even Jared and his people were among the people who were building in the tower, right? Now, to sidetrack a little bit, who was in the tower? Who were the people that were at the tower? And the majority of them, who were there? The majority of the people who were at the Tower of Babel were the children of Ham and Canaan. So that's something to remember, because they were the ones who got dispersed after the fall of the tower. And the children of Japhet were also with them as well. So let's continue. And when it came time for Jared and his friends to depart out of the land, it was incumbent upon them that they must flee in the night, and they feared that they would be discovered, as those assembled to build at the tower had bound themselves together with curses and with oaths and with imprecations like unto them of old. Well, I'm about to run into this fence. You just see all these different like megalithic rocks everywhere. It's no surprise that they made this into a giant park in the middle of a nasty ass city. Okay. And thus when Jared and his family and friends and all their family fled, they mourned to leave their possessions in the land of their inheritance, and they fled in fear and with haste. But for the righteous in their hearts, they were departing to set out on an adventure and a mission for the Lord. So the Most High does not put people in haste, to really do anything. Usually he does not do that. Usually he gives you the time to go and do your thing. I'm just putting that out there. And it came to pass that Achee and all his band gathered together at an appointed place, and at the time that was set. And it was a scheduled place deep in the hills, and it was a place of water. But they could not tarry long for fear of being discovered, lest the people of the oaths should accuse them and send their wickedness against them. And it came to pass that after they had rested a while, they arose and took up their journey northward. So I'm gonna skip down, but pretty much they left, right? I don't need to read every single thing. Let me see. Oh. Hold on, the wind's blowing my page. And it came to pass that in that evening, as they looked upon the empty dwellings, Jared desired to send some friends into the village to see if they may discover that which the people had left behind of their possessions. But the Lord forbade. And he said to Achee, touch not the things of the wicked. And Achee said to Jared, it pleased the Lord that no man find himself discontent with that which the Lord has provided for him. For the righteousness are happy to dwell with the Kadeshoi. You see that? So that's why we don't need to have like like all these different possessions that are not organic, that don't really come from the earth. I know that sounds like real hippie and whatever, but stuff like this, like get yourself a wooden bench, a wooden house, stuff like that, man. I'm just giving examples. You should be content with pretty much being able to leave anything and everything, because there's nothing that's all that important, right? Because pretty much Jared and his people, they were like, damn, we gotta leave all of our gold. Like, what about my gold chain? I gotta leave that. I was getting all the hoes with that gold chain. I can't leave that. I don't know, man, but that's kind of how people think. They're real attached to their attachments. So, they can't let them go. And that's not how if you're trying to be one of the righteous, it's not how you should be. It doesn't just say that you can't have possessions, but you can't be attached to your possessions. Totally different thing, man. I'm just gonna sit down for a bit. Let me see. Get some water. I don't got no food for you, man. I'm sorry. I don't have food for you. They feed the squirrels here, so that's why they're like real friendly with people. Because they feed them. Which I really don't suggest. It's not that I don't love animals, but they attack people. I'm starting to think that these white people are feeding the rats because they be going up to you like, yo, what's good? Like, it's crazy. Let me see. Facts. I used to buy all the Jordans, don't even care no more. Yeah, man. Yeah. I know you've seen The Smartest Beast. The Australoid migration is hella confusing. I mean, I don't agree with him on that Australoid migration stuff because I actually think that, but the Australoid migration is kind of confusing though. But that lets me know that those people are from Shem. Like the Australoid phenotype is a Shemitic phenotype. That's what I've been saying. But anyway, let me see. And it came to pass that in the night Shema awoke and thought she had heard the soft cries of a child coming from the village. And when she went out in the darkness to see, she found the child in a dwelling alone at the night. And she was abandoned and fearful of the encampment of strangers. And when Shema called out, the child gasped and trembled with fear. But Shema comforted her and gently told her not to be afraid. And she took her up into her arms. And she said, how does such a little one as you come to be alone in this place? And the child answered not a word, but held her peace. And she said, having no father nor mother? And the child said, my grandmother told me before she died that I used to have a mother, and my father is no more. For he has returned to the encampment of the builders, now for these many days. Squirrels are brave. Now they chase people. Yeah, I mean, when you feed them, they're gonna be brave like that. Yeah, it don't make sense that the Australoidic peoples are like whatever he's saying that they are. Like, that doesn't make sense. All the natives have Australoidic features, and so do a lot of the quote-unquote black people in the Americas, as well as the people of India and East Africa. All these places that connect with the Shemites, they all have these features. So it don't make any sense. So pretty much Shema, she took up this child that had been abandoned. They're still in Turkey, by the way. They're still in this area. And Shema held the child and wiped her tears away. And she said, how are you called, child? And the child answered, my grandmother named me Yathomiah. She said it was my name, for the Lord would always feel the feelings of my heart. And my father calls me by that name, but he does not consider any of the doings of the Lord. Now Shema knew that the name means God feels abandoned and alone. And she wept for the child in the night. And she was moved upon for the righteousness of the grandmother of the child. For indeed the Lord felt the great despair and loneliness of this pretty little one. And the fear in her heart was to be abandoned. And the heart of Shema swelled with compassion. And she said, what have you been eating, my pretty one? And Yathomiah pointed to a basket of meal that contained yet one small handful. And she said, I have had this meal to eat, but no fire to put it under. And Shema said, well, you shall hunger no more. Come with me, and I shall become a mother to you. And the Lord will keep his hand upon you, and bring you comfort and safety. And Shema took the child into her bosom. It's a very sweet story. And it came to pass that Yathomiah was comforted, and became a woman of righteousness like unto her grandmother. And she lived all her days as a daughter of Shema, and became a woman dearly beloved by the people of the Lord. And Yathomaiah grew and prospered among the people. Very, very nice story. So they're still in Turkey. Shema, she adopts this child who was abandoned, right? Let's see. I think I already played that. Yeah. Okay, continuing. I don't know what the bro. This app be tripping, bro. Alright. And it came to pass, well, I skipped one. And it came to pass in that during a sabbatical year of their travels, she married one of the sons of a friend of Jared. And he was called Poog, because he was a slackard. And in the course of that year, she came to be with child, and she looked forward with dread to be traveling, while being large with child. And it came to pass in the 5th month, on the 14th day, or the 4th day of the month, the company of travelers came upon a large hill, and beheld the land that was laid before them. And it was rough and dry, and filled with a foreboding, which means it was like a dangerous feeling to them. And all the women said it felt like the land of the dead when they saw it. And they knew they must pass across such an empty land. They prayed unto the Lord for deliverance from it. Now, to go back, she married someone who was a friend of Jared. Now, again, who were the people who were at the tower? If you go into Jasher, the people who went to the Tower of Babel were the children of Ham and Canaan. So this is either a Hamite or a Canaanite that she married, pretty much. Someone from the lineage of Ham or Canaan. Now, this large land that they went to, we're about to get to it, though. I'm going to show you where it is. And they had provisions laid by in store, for it was a sabbatical year, but they could not carry water sufficient for their needs, and they did not know the extent of this land they were to cross. But the Erkadesh called to them, and Tipharah could tell by their voices where to find water, and great were the blessings of the Lord upon the people because of her. And it came to pass that they named the place Cadel, which is to say the land of the dead. That's very important. And it was in the land of Cadel that Yathomaiah gave birth to Ziklag. See? Ziklag. You guys can go look that up yourself, bro. But I'm gonna show you exactly where this is. And he was her only child, and Poog complained continually concerning the difficulty of the journey. But the men were patient with him and put their hopes in his repentance. So I'm gonna show you where this is on my sister's phone. Just 1 second, please. Pretty much the Turpan Desert. That is what it is. Turpan, the Death Valley of China. And I'm gonna show you where this is. So that's where it is. That is pretty much what they call the Death Valley of China. And the word, it means the land of fire, right? So that's pretty much what they had to cross. Continuing. And it came to pass as the child grew, he was not thought righteous by his father, and the earnest desires of his mother went unheeded. For in his youth he began to be stubborn concerning praying, paying heed to the Spirit of the Most High. And Yathomaiah grieved over her son, because he was wayward and disobedient. And it came to pass that the people were all the rest of that year traveling through the land of Cadel. One second. Okay. And it came to pass that during 1 year of their travels, and it was just before the waving of an omer, they came to settle in a good grassy plain to the east of the land of Cadel. And here they found a seed in abundance and made their bread from it. And in the course of time, they came to a place where game was bountiful, and Ziklag began to be a hunter, notwithstanding he was in his 14th year. And from that time forth he became skilled with weapons, and very brave in the pursuit of his prey. So this is the story of how Ziklag came to be. Now as the people moved through the places of the earth, even as the Lord led them, there were times when they were afraid, and felt the dread of the unknown, and great whirlwinds would descend, and such things they had not been accustomed to, and raging fires would consume upon the grassy plain, coming forth from the voice of Yatzal, which is thunder. So thunder would strike these grassy plains and set them on fire, and they were unused to that. And the people had great need to depend on their tender mercies of the Lord for their protection. And were it not for their men of righteousness, who were always listening to the direction of the Lord, there were times they would have perished. And were it not for Tipharah and Shema, they would have suffered with thirst and want of food. So it's telling you right there what the men are supposed to do and what the women are supposed to do. The men are supposed to pretty much diligently seek out the voice of the Most High. I'm gonna start walking again. And the women, they're supposed to make sure that the provisions are all good, that everyone has enough to drink, enough to eat, things of that sort, right? So that's pretty much what their roles were. Now, not everyone in the land or who was traveling with them were the most righteous. Not all of them had the same amount of faith. And we're about to read that the wicked, they had to start depending on the righteous, pretty much, to lead. And of course, that's not how things always... My water fell. That's not how things always were. You know, I'm sure that they were like, you know, laughing the righteous to scorn and things of that sort. Like they weren't really listening to them until it was time for, you know, things to get done. People to actually be protected. You know, the true leaders will come out, bro. That's really what I'm trying to say. The true people, they will lead when it's time. All right. All right, continuing. Let me see. Thus, in the years of their travel, they became an exceedingly strong people. And those who could not sufficiently trust in the hand of the Lord learned to put their faith in those who could. And those who paid heed to the voices of the Erkadeshoi, for many times they traveled through strange lands. And they did not know what herbs of the field were good to eat, not that which was useful as healing medicines, but the hand of the Lord was upon them, and he would teach them by his Spirit of the things of which they had need. So this also let me know that everyone is not going to be able to really speak with the Most High or trust in the Most High. So we don't have to expect anyone to do it. We just kind of have to be ourselves, be that beacon of light, and whoever wants to follow, they'll follow, right? But this was an eye-opener for me because I was like, oh, so those who were scorning, or those who were like projecting and being real insecure now, listen, they'll follow whomever has the juice, per se. They're gonna have to. So you guys should remember that, man. Like, don't get stressed out when people, you know, they're trying to laugh you to scorn and trying to belittle you. Just keep doing what you're doing. They're gonna come back and be like, oh, so what do you think we should do? They're gonna be the same ones doing the same thing. And they're not gonna say sorry for what they did before. They're gonna act like it didn't happen. So don't even expect the sorry. Look, you know what? Let's see what this is about. I'll go back to reading in a second, but I just wonder why people crowd up for things like this. I'm just curious, bro.
Wake it up. Now everybody clap. Everybody clap. Go eat. Good. Oh, yeah. Look like it's started. Here we go. Everybody clap.
I don't know what's going on right now. Oh shit!
Oh my God! I didn't even know he could still do that. You know what?
Anyway,
he saved the best for last. Ladies, we call this one "What Your Man Can't Do."
Anyway, yeah, they got a lot of stuff like that going on.
Yeah.
I feel like I finally found a real Hebrew. Hey, I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. I feel like a lot of these people who are claiming to be a quote-unquote Hebrew really aren't. You know, I honestly really do feel like a lot of people have internalized, you know, who the Hebrews were, and they're not actually who they are because the Most High be working with them in a certain way, and I just don't see it. Isn't it great to see all this? Yeah, of course it is. It's incredible to see all of this. It's a great time to be alive, you know, to get our information back, everything, bro. All right, let's get this music playing again. Yeah, we gotta remember, bro, like a lot of people, they converted in different time periods. You know, I'm not going to act like someone is just because they say they are. You have to prove that, bro. Why do you deserve that clout? Like, you don't deserve that. I don't even know you. Like, you don't even got a mixtape. Like, what am I doing that for? What it do? Wagwan, shalom. Thank you for stopping by, bro. Appreciate you. We in Central Park, as you can see. Facts, they want to be real bad, but did no research, no actual research. Use scripture, exactly, they didn't. All they saw was, the Hebrews are black unto the ground. Oh, I'm black? Like, come on, bro, it's much more than that. Doesn't just say a lot of so-called black people aren't Israelites, because they probably are, but you cannot internalize that. And I feel like going on that stone over there. What you think, Abdullah? Maybe I should, yeah, let's do it. Everything is real bad right now, and it's gonna get worse. Of course it is, and that's fine. That's that separation, bro. Dang, look at this stone, bro. It's so beautiful. Abidal. All right, we gonna chill here, man, for a second. I don't know. I'm just feeling this stone. I'm feeling it. Okay, where were we, man? We took a long detour. And it came to pass that year by year, Achee would declare Shabuah and whatsoever place they would find themselves. And all the Erkadeshoi knew them, and would call out to them, and instruct them like the loving hand of a tender parent. And in this way the people were secure in their welfare, no matter where the hand of the Lord would lead them. At the first, all people would accompany Achee in the sounding of the trump on the Sabbath mornings of Shavuot, and they would worship at the altar of the covenant. But as the years passed, those who fled from the land of Shinar in haste began to become dull of feeling over the space of their travels, and fewer attended the declaration of Shavuot. Notwithstanding, the Erkadeshoi were kind to them all, and the grace of the Lord followed after them. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I don't know. I'm feeling the spot, man. When I saw it, I was like, whoa, let me go here. I like the energy here, man. I'm feeling it. It feels good. Can't really explain it. I just like it. Now, as the people moved through the places of the earth, even as the Lord led them there were times where they felt afraid and felt the dread of the unknown, and great whirlwinds would descend, and such things. Oh, I'm sorry, I read that already. Whoa, I'm tripping. And when there was no fish or honey or prey to eat, the people were sore afraid to eat the strange herbs of the field, except they should be instructed by the hand of the Most High. And in this way, every sabbatical year, the food they laid to store did change according to the nature of the land they passed through. So again, guys, you have to remember that they're passing through the land. Like they're coming from Turkey and going to China. So like the land is constantly changing, especially in China. Like the land is different all over the place, right? China is kind of similar to South America, how there could be a desert right next to a lush lake and a mountain right next to a rainforest. Like that's kind of how the land in China is. So you have to remember that a lot of the landscape is going to change. Let me see. And in this way, that their spirits and bodies were continually in harmony with the natural world around them. And it came to pass that a strange difference of opinion began to grow and manifest itself among this people. And the Gentiles in tribulation times have great need to ponder the meaning of it. For it will be expedient that they cry out to the Lord, lest the same contention come upon them also and rise up in their midst. And it began in the land of Shinar, when the Spirit of God wrought upon the Erkadeshoi. And it began in the life of Tipharah and Achee, with the birth of Nekash, when his mother exclaimed that he was not born to live in the land of the people of her father. What a strange thing for any mother to encounter. And the question of where a people or a person was born to live began to be enlarged upon the land and in the hearts of all the people. So we pretty much what this just said is that the same thing's going to happen to the Gentiles in the tribulation times, because they're going to feel the same feeling that these Gentiles felt at this time. Because you know, these people are pretty much following Achee's lead. They're not going by themselves. Like, Achee was really the only person who really, well, Achee and Tipharah, as well as Shema, they were really the only people who really had faith. You know, they're kind of following their lead. So it's the same thing with the Gentiles. The Gentiles are going to have faith to simply just follow, to listen, and to learn. Otherwise, I don't know where the hell they're gonna go. I don't know. But continuing, it came to pass that each person as they traveled began to wonder where they were born to live, and what food they were born to eat, and in what manner of land their soul was part of in the sight of the Most High. And they thought, how will we build our dwelling places? And it was in this way that the religion of Shavuot began to have an effect upon their hearts. For the Most High was ever calling out to them to seek their visions of created purpose. And the difference of opinion arose according to what means the people sought to answer these questions. And in this thing a sharp division began to take place. in the thinking and hearts of the people. So division is righteous, bro. There's always going to be division. Division is a good thing. The only thing that really matters is right and wrong. It doesn't matter if someone agrees, if they don't agree. Only the truth matters, right? And notice how they saw someone else's faith. They saw Tipharah's faith. They were just like, what the hell? We're doing this whole journey because she had a vision for her child. But they pretty much were like, they were almost like, I don't know, like excited or inspired. That's the word. They were inspired by that faith, right? This is why it's important to show faith, man. Faith is like it's like a good disease, man. It's contagious. It gets on people and they want to do the same things. They see you go out on a limb and you're rewarded because of it. And now they have the strength to do the same thing, right? So, hey. Beautiful place. Yeah, it is. It is. I just noticed it because I'm looking at this book, but I'm like, whoa. Does Achee mean brother in Hebrew? Yeah, it does. I think Achee's real name is Moran Coomer, but they call him Achee because he's the younger brother of Jared. Lake of Fire is where they're going if they don't have faith. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's where they're gonna choose to go. They don't have to go there, but I mean, it's like they want to go or something. Love the tunes, bro. What is written is written. Khan. Exactly, my bro. What is written is written. Let your yea be yea and your nay be nay. It is what it is, right? FYI, here's another game changer. What the hell? Okay, FYI, here's another game changer. My entire family has Hebrew names. My dad's name is Hashem. We are Shemites 100%. Interesting. I should note that, no, never mind. Shabbat Shalom, family. All praises to the Most High God. Khan, thank you for stopping by, bro. I really appreciate you. Now, on one hand, the righteous, which were those who walked with the Erkadeshoi, were those who continually thought upon the Lord, and began to learn by the Spirit of God in their hearts, and by the voice of the Erkadeshoi, who spoke to them continually in their quiet moments. And it was in this way that they began to learn of the grandeur of their creation, of the soul of each one, and the wonders that are in the heart of God concerning his lofty expectations for them began to more fully manifest themselves, and each godly person began to cling to the righteousness of his name before the Lord. But on the other hand, the wicked sought only for that which was pleasurable, and that which would bring them comfort and satisfaction of their possessions. Listen, bro, I'm still amazed at the fact that all these people were brought to righteousness just for the small amount of faith that Achee and Tipharah had. Like, that's incredible, bro. That's absolutely incredible. Like, I'm just thinking about this, like, wow. All right, I had a comment. The 1/3 is already chosen. The mighty 144 is here to rule with the Messiah. Khan, all praise to the Most High Creator, Abba Yah. Let me see. What was I saying? Yeah, so that's crazy, man. So listen, when the Most High sends you out on a mission to go out based on faith, I suggest you just do it. you leave your faith. I'm sorry. I'm thinking too fast. You leave your life in the hands of the Father, and you just trust in Him, man. He will do a great work out of you. Whatever it is, you don't know what it is. Just trust in Him, man. He has a plan. I know that's cliche. I know the Christians always saying it, but nah, it's really real, bro. Like, it just hit me like, wow, like they did this whole thing based on just the faith, right? Just like, oh, I feel the Most High telling me this. I'm gonna go on a 20, 30, 40-year journey just because of that inkling that I got. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. It's a beautiful thing, man. I'm a change locations in a second. And it was in this way that the land which was of such varied nature, passed by them in their travels, was seen by two kinds of eyes, and felt by two kinds of hearts, and considered by two kinds of minds. For it was as if the earth was being presented to them, and being drawn past them for them to review, and it was revealing to them the great variety of the creation of the Most High within the soul of each man. And the oneness of creation of each one began to manifest itself before their eyes, and they began to see the workmanship of the Father in creation, and the wonders of the variety of it, and in the splendor of the uniqueness of it. And it also built into the soul of each person in oneness, and the righteous could plainly see that each person was a marvelous work and a wonder of the Father, in and of themselves, and in their own uniqueness of their individual creation. And their visions became clear, and their spiritual depths grew, and expanded in the heart of each one as they traveled and looked beyond the works of the Most High. And each among the righteous grew to know the multitude of ways that the Father expresses his love for them and their fellows. So why is all this so important, bro? As a righteous person, if you consider yourself a righteous person, you should want everyone to be themselves, to be the best version of themselves. You should not be trying to police other people. You should be trying to help people come to their created purpose, not putting everyone under your created purpose. This is a major reason why I do not believe in any churches, in any congregations. I will never pretty much head one of those. I'm all about communities, but not among any sort of, man-made given authority. I'm not with that, bro. Because whenever you do that, you're always going to pretty much stifle someone else's Holy Spirit. You're going to stagger them. You're going to mess up someone's potential. A true righteous community, it's all about expressing uniqueness under righteousness. So there are guidelines that you follow, right? But unless you break those guidelines, you kind of let people be themselves, and you don't try to step on anyone's toes, right? You let people be them, because that's the only way that they're going to truly be happy with themselves. Otherwise, people are going to pretty much use you as a litmus test. I don't want anyone using me as a litmus test for righteousness. Like, how close are you to Yahshua the Unifier? Like, what the hell? Like, and that's how people run their churches. That's how people run their congregations. That's why I'm not interested in stuff like that. Let me see. We wouldn't be doing the work we're doing. I respectfully disagree. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. No problem with that. All I'm really talking about is I want to be under the Most High's church. That is the only church that I'm interested in. I'm not really interested in anything else. Anything else is man-made, bro. It's not going to be made properly. But of course, that's my opinion. My bro Abdullah, he has his opinions, and we could probably be both right and wrong in some sort of way. So it's all good. Facts, bro. Righteousness can be contagious. Oh, I was okay. I was like, I don't know what he's disagreeing with, but respect. Yeah, I didn't necessarily agree either, but everyone has their opinions. Yo, I was like, what the hell? Individual thinking over group thinking, absolutely. And the funny thing is that unless you are able to pretty much do the religion of the ancients, you're not going to be on one accord. Listen, this is no disrespect to let's say like some of the stuff that Big Judah's been sharing, because I'm definitely not disagreeing with what he's sharing. If anything I would disagree with is the premise or the basis of it. And what I mean by that is people are not going to be on one accord unless they're doing the religion of the ancients. If let's say you get 8,000 people to pray, but there are 4 factions of 2,000 of them that believe in different things, right? They're not under the same religion pretty much. It's not going to really matter. If you get 8,000 people who are under the religion of Shabua, then you're going to get things on and popping. But I definitely agree with his message. I just don't agree with his premise, right? So it's that sort of thing. Khan, and if you don't go on your assignment from Abba Yah, you will get a sign like Jonas. Yahushua stated this in the New Testament. The Most High is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Yeah, I mean, if you don't go on your assignment, he'll just get someone else who will. He'll just get someone else. It's no skin off his back. Let me see. Can't agree with individual thinking. We are not all robots. No, not at all. Like stuff like that, when when people almost feel like if you're not thinking like them, you're wrong. Like, man, that makes me cringe so hard, bro. So hard. So I really wish people would not do that. But I guess they're using their free will to do it, and you're using your free will to listen to them. So there's that. Let me get some more music playing. We still didn't get to the interesting part, man. I want to get to how Achee got attacked by Satan, because that's very interesting and how he responded to it. I really liked how they showed it. But let's read some of these other comments that I got. Let me see. Shabbat Shalom. Ak Abdullah, appreciate your work for the nation. Yep, and I appreciate it too. Can't have a church till everyone is unified 100%. Exactly. What the hell are you having a church for? Because if people don't understand what the church is for, like if they don't understand some of the things that you're teaching right off the bat, they don't understand the basis of it, the premise of it, then you're gonna have robots. You're gonna have followers. You're not gonna have mates. You're not gonna have equals. You're gonna have yes men, right? If the church is based on your spiritual premonitions and it's not based on anything that is solid, then you're just gonna have, hey, how you doing? Oh, what's up, man? Hey, you guys saw that? got a bro out here. Cling on to the ways of the ancients and their gentle ways of peace and happiness. Enoch. Exactly, bro. Thank you for stopping by, Abdullah. Breath of fresh air. Jonah didn't get a sign. Jonas was a high priest and he loved the Most High. Shalom, you know I love you. Just respectfully disagree. Listen, Abdullah's a man's man, bro. That's why I rock with him, because he's not a yes man, bro, and you could reprimand him. He's not gonna get all emotional about it either. So I could definitely respect that. Absolutely, I love you, and this and this brother here as well. We all have in these last days. Indeed, bro, indeed, and I appreciate you being humble about him respectfully disagreeing. I could appreciate that. Let's continue. That was cool, man. We got to see a bro. Got to see another brother out here. That was mad cool, man. I love to see it. All right. So what were we saying? So pretty much, that's pretty much what the righteous were doing. They were able to, see themselves. They were able to see the importance of their own creation, of their own self. Like they were enough. Their being was enough. They didn't need man to pretty much validate them, right? Listen, man, validation is one hell of a drug, man. It's a sad thing. This is why I even covered the narcissistic personality disorder, because that's literally the spirit of Satan. If you really think about it, that's the spirit of Satan. And it's a sad thing. because you're chasing after man's validation when you should be chasing after the Most High's validation. You know, and that's where much wickedness comes from. All right, let's continue. And it was in this way that the land, which was of such a varied nature. Let me see. Did I read that already? Yeah, I did. My bad. Let's continue. All right. In the hearts of all the company who were righteous, for they began to see that coming into the Father with all the energies of their souls, and that loving him with all their hearts and giving him their entire life and soul was the real purpose, and meaning and fulfillment of life, giving your entire heart and soul. What did we discuss in that book, Way of Mastery? That is what it means to truly master yourself. That is what it truly means to get into the kingdom, is when you give everything, when you kind of let go and you kind of like flow within the whole flow of the universe, and you kind of just let the Most High do his thing. You view yourself as an observer, like you're almost like astral projected, and you're looking at yourself and you're not taking anything personally. You're saying, oh, that happened, okay, what do you want me to do? You look over to the Father and say, okay, what do you want me to do? This happened to me, what do you want me to do? That's what it is. That's how you give your entire being to him, you know? Idolatry? In what way? What are you talking about? Shalom, little brother. Shalom, family nation. Thank you for stopping by, sister. Much love, much appreciation to you. Let's go down this way. Isn't that speaking what the Way of Mastery speak about as well? Exactly, it is. It is. That's why I was like, yo, that book is fire. Aside from the little weird comments that they put in, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, it's saying many similar things, bro. Worshipping men is idolatry. Yeah, it is. And I'm really not with that man worshipping stuff, bro. People don't understand how much I'm against stuff like that. It's just, that's weird. Let me see. Okay, that's it. All right, let's continue. Let me put on some more music. I'm gonna play one of UB's songs. I love this song. All right. Now the effect of all this was upon the Now the effect of all this upon the righteous was that they grew into adulthood. As they grew into adulthood, they were confident in who they were before the Father. And it was difficult for Semihaz to cause them to feel inferior to their fellows. And in their hearts and minds, they became free, insomuch that they did not feel the encumbrance of having to be like someone else, but were free to be the creation of the Most High in their own right. See, this is what's actually really important, you know. Being yourself, being like confident in who the Most High made you. If the Most High made you into a gardener, then be the best damn gardener that you could be. And don't feel jealous of someone else if they're a king, because all that means is more responsibility, right? That's all that means. Everyone has a role to play. Don't try to take anyone else's role. Just be you. You don't have, like, listen, man, if I was just a gardener, listen, that would be beautiful, bro. That's way less work for me, man. I'm lazy. I would much rather do something like that if that's all I'm supposed to do. We're both going to get into the kingdom the same. But some people have more responsibility than others, right? You're not better than someone because you have more responsibility, right? Don't think that you're lesser than because you're doing something that, you know, you think is of lesser value, that's all in your head, right? And this is what makes a community righteous, is their ability to kind of not be jealous of each other, be content with themselves. That's what gives them that ability, man. And now, what did it say? It was difficult for Semi-Haza to get into their hearts. It was difficult for him to do it because he wasn't able to whisper in someone's head like, oh, like, you know, see, so-and-so's wife looks better than yours. Why don't you try to smoosh her, or whatever the word is? Why don't you try to take that? That could be yours, right? Instead, they're saying back to him, "No, I like how my wife looks. No, I'm okay." Like that's what makes a community actually righteous. Righteousness is a mindset, right? It's a mindset. Let's continue. To cause them to feel inferior to their fellows, and in their hearts and minds they became free, insomuch that they did not feel the encumbrance of having to be like some other person, but were free to be the creation of the Father in their own right. And it was with these eyes that the righteous came to see and know in their knowing the true meaning of life. And in the place of their possessions in their life, and the true value of their natural surroundings. Listen, bro, this tree right here is more valuable than any piece of solid gold or any of the other stuff. Why? Because this tree will give you protection. That gold won't give you anything. That tree will give you protection. And that's why it's worth way more. That's why all that material stuff does not make any sense. Everything that's really of worth, is all free. All of it is free. Just changing the song. There's nothing that you need to feel important, bro. Like, seriously. Like, I know that the enemy, he goes out of his way to make sure that even the free stuff is stuff that's like hard to get, or it's polluted. You know, he has a lot of, like, especially the children of Israel, he has them living in really disgusting conditions away from, you know, a lot of the holy watchers, like trees, grass, the elements and stuff like that. He pollutes the elements. But even so, that's his attacks. But the reason why he's attacking that stuff is because he understands that this stuff is free. It's given to us. He wants to create the illusion of us needing, of us wanting. So what he will do is that he will take all these things away from you, and then he'll show a bunch of coon-ass rappers on TV, you know, ball players and things of that sort, and say, if you want to get out the hood, the nasty-ass hood, be like us. Chase these possessions. It's a real nasty game that he plays, man. Really disgusting game. The Most High blessed me with a little here and a little there. I have shaped my life. Kabodiel shades you, helps you breathe, give you food, and testifies for you. Exactly. How is a piece of gold worth more than that tree then? If the tree does all of that, if Kabodiel does all of that, how the hell is any possession worth more than this right here? That makes no sense, bro. That is your sister right there. You think a piece of gold is worth more than your sister, your brother? That's what you're saying. When you choose to worship these possessions, you know, someone steps on your Jordans, you're ready to kill them. Like, that's insanity, bro. That's right, the lands were divided, and whatever is on your land is yours for free. Indeed, it's yours. But even so, this stuff was created for you. Like, this wouldn't be here. That big, beautiful tree would not be here if it wasn't for you being created. It was created for you. He had you in mind. So you have to remember, this stuff is your birthright. This earth is your birthright. That's why they put a price on water and trees, even land itself. Indeed, exactly, because they're trying to create the illusion that these things are supposed to cost something when they're not. They're not supposed to cost anything. They're supposed to be free. So when we realize this, man, we will ascend, especially as a community, right? We will be able to ascend. Let's continue. And it came to pass that while these great changes were being wrought upon the righteous who were with Achee and the gentle, by the gentle and loving kindness of the Father, in the land of Shinar at the great tower, the people were being taught by the severe and unknowing hand of Semihaza, and the wicked were laying the foundation of a great city, where all the men would come to think that all the meaning of life lay in the satisfaction of their possessions and the accumulation of the substance of wealth. So while they're pretty much learning self-actualization over there near China, in Turkey, in the land of Shinar, they're learning the exact opposite. And listen, man, the God of the Old Testament, that's not the Most High, bro. That is Aaron's God. That is Baal. That's not the real Most High. The one who's doom and gloom and is going to severely punish you if you do this and that, that's not the Most High. That is the God that Aaron created. Like, I really want people to really realize this, that Aaron is the reason why a lot of our basis of who we think the Most High is based on him and his opinions and the knowledge that he took from Egypt. Right? That's what it's based on, bro. So let's continue. 1 second. Getting a different song. Let me see. And the people were, all right, we already read that. I almost walked into that guy's bike. Oh my gosh. And it came to pass that Semihaza followed after those who traveled with the people of Achee, but did not think continually upon the great name of the Father. Hold on, the page is blowing. And the wicked in this band of travelers, wait, I'm sorry, let me go back. And it came to pass that Semihaza followed after those who traveled with the people of Achee, but did not think continually upon the great name of the Lord. Notwithstanding, they went whithersoever they would, even according to the leadings of the Lord. And the wicked in this band of travelers could not find it in their hearts to seek out their visions, but were intent only to dwell in their hearts upon the loss of their comforts and possessions in the land of Shinar. So when their eyes looked out and beheld upon the land as it passed before them in their travels, it was the workmanship of the and all the Irkadeshwe that could only look to seek which would bring them comfort and the ease of pleasures and the glory of dominion, one man above his fellows. And when their eyes and souls viewed the wonders of the Father, or grew close to some specific feeling of the Messiah in a new and wondrous element, this blindness was ever before their eyes to block the vision of the Father from entering into their hearts. And the natural world began to be valued in an entirely different way than it was by the righteous. And the wicked stood in constant doubt concerning their station in the midst of the creation before the Father, and they worried continually. This is what the wicked do, bro. The wicked, they take the Most High's goodness and they see it in a cynical way, right? They don't interpret his messages correctly, and you know, they pretty much create entire doctrines and entire false premises. False premises are one hell of a thing, bro, because you know what it's like, bro? Let me think of an example for what a false premise is and how dangerous they are. Give me 1 second. Let me read some comments first. Let me think about it. That makes sense why our people kept on stumbling throughout each generation by not following the Most High said actual blueprint. Exactly. It's because the information was lost, bro. The information was lost. So they're pretty much, they're not gonna really fully be able to even accept a lot of these teachings because of the false premise. Oh, thank you. That was actually a good example. Like, for example, the Messiah, he was trying to get rid of false premises, right, of our people. Because the Messiah came and he's trying to tell them about, all these different laws that Aaron pretty much added, which were really Egyptian laws. He's trying to tell them, like, this stuff is unnecessary. In fact, it's actually wicked. And they're like, but Moses told us this. How is he going to how is he going to be able to prove the fact that Moses didn't say that and that it was actually Aaron who was lying and saying it was Moses? How is he going to prove that? So he has his work cut out for him, man. It is a hard job that he has to do now. Wasn't it Nimrod who ordered the construction of Babel Tower, aka who Semi-Haza controlled? Yeah, it was. It was Nimrod and his fellows. They work to hide things? Yeah, they do. Shalom, family. All praise to the Most High. Y'all, thank you for stopping by, bro. Or Yahweh, whichever one you use. Thank you for stopping by, bro. All right, let's continue. Just changing the song. Oh, I like this one. The spirit of Nimrod is still at large? Of course it is. Of course. The spirit of Nimrod is definitely here. Definitely here. All right. So yeah, bro, like, you have to understand that the Most High loves you, bro. You cannot be worried about, whether he loves you or not, whether you're going to be destroyed. That's a bunch of foolishness. Like, honestly, it really is. You cannot base things off of a false premise. You have to figure out, well, why are you even thinking that in the first place? Who told you that you should even be worrying about stuff like that? That's never something to worry about. You should never worry about whether the Most High is going to forgive you. He already forgave you, right? It just depends on whether you're going to actually repent. It's not on him, it's on you. Like, he's going to love you regardless. He'll always take you back. Now, how long will it take for him to take you back because of how filthy your soul has gotten? I mean, that depends on what you've done. But you should be excited to start that journey of being able to get right with him. It's a long journey, but you got to do what you have to do. So let's continue. For fear of falling short in regard to the expectations of others, and they sought always for the meaning not to fall behind their fellows in the satisfactions of their pleasures. You see, my cousin, she said this, man, listen, man, I got some real wicked people in my family, but she told her little brother that, he's not ambitious, he's gonna be a bum, because my cousin, he doesn't want to go to college. He doesn't want to do any of that stuff. He's like, listen, I'll be an MTA bus driver. Like, I don't really care about all those possessions and stuff. I just want to support myself and just live. And there's nothing wrong with that, bro. Like, what the hell is wrong with that? That's what he wants to do. That's what he wants to do. And my cousin, who's my age, my other cousin, her brother is like 17. And she's like, oh, he doesn't have any aspirations. But that's her insecurities, because those insecurities were put onto her by whomever, that you have to be rich, or you're not a real man if you don't have a 6K salary and all this and that. Like, that's sad, bro. That's so sad. right? Fulfill your true created purpose and destiny that the Most High Noka said made righteous. Exactly, bro. Exactly. Man, you don't know. My cousin, the Most High could have him be a bus driver so that he could meet some sort of entrepreneur. Like, you never know what will happen. You never know. So it really doesn't make any sense to try to project what you think anyone else should be doing. You have to let people be themselves, man. You know? Stop trying to live people's lives for them. Like, that's so corny. That's real sad, bro. I wish people would stop doing that. But this is what this world is gonna be as long as this wickedness is here. But the only thing we could do is be a light to others. Live by example. And when we start praying for the 4 directions, we can start to actually affect the world. You know what I mean? Lots of heathen Gentile cousins here, bro. Yeah. I don't even know who my cousins are or anything like that. I don't know where they come from. I don't know. So I wouldn't know. I don't even know who the people on my mom's side come from. You know, I think I know who they are, but what does that really mean?
Oh my God. Ha ha ha.
1 second. All right. So, listen, you can't. Last thing, we cannot care what other people think, bro. I really could not care less about other people's expectations on where I'm supposed to be, what I'm supposed to do, because, people don't understand anyone else's circumstances. So it doesn't make sense to judge other people based on that. Like, I'm not about to view someone. That's like me viewing someone on the street. You know, they're poor, they're a quote unquote bum, right? And I'm judging them, saying, oh, you were probably lazy. How would I know that? I'm making a big assumption. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know what his purpose was. That would be like the person who the Messiah healed. And they're all making assumptions saying that he was blind because of the sin of his forefathers or him in a past life or whatever. And they don't even realize that it's neither. It's because he was made like that so that he could become whole. He could be an example, right? Like, never make assumptions, bro. Just don't judge people, bro. I come from a real judgmental culture of the Caribbean, so I had to get myself out of a lot of this thinking. You know, in the Caribbean, we're real judgmental. So I definitely understand where a lot of this comes from. It comes from perfectionism and all that. That also is insecurity. So we got to stop, bro. We got to stop judging people. Just let people be themselves. Just be happy that you're in your position. Don't worry about anyone else's position. Maybe that person is meant to be there. You should be happy that you're where you want to be. And let that person be where he wants to be. Or she wants to be. You help them, but you don't get in their way, bro. No need for that. Let's continue. I'm going to stop preaching. And it came to pass that the world around them began to be like a stranger to them, and the fear of the unknown would dominate them. And in this way, there began to arise discussions when considering where to place their encampments during their weeks and years as they did not travel. And the voice of the Erkadesh was important to some, but not to others. Wherefore, O you Gentiles, see to it that you hear of these things, that you would not be content until you have arrived at the place and in the condition that will fulfill the vision of your created purpose, to which the voice of the Father in your hearts will continually be calling to you during the times of your tribulations. And this is what's happening right now. The Most High is calling to them right now. A lot of them feeling real guilty and they don't know what to do with it. Right? This is why I was saying on my channel before, I was like, listen, bro, the Gentiles got to humble themselves, man. They cannot be out here acting like they're the Israelites or they're the holy people, right? Like, they're real backwards too, because they'll claim that they're, I'm from Judah, and there's some, they're a straight up Gentile. Like, you could tell from their spirit that they're not. But then they'll claim that they're an Israelite, right? but then they'll get upset when something is said about the Gentiles. Like, they're just all over the place. They want to be everything, and they just need to be back in their order. They need to fulfill their created purpose, whatever that is. And the fact is that they're stepping on a lot of people's toes right now, and that's what, you know, they were doing back then. Facts, brother. We in the Caribbean are very judgmental. We really are, bro. We really are. Listen, as I'm trying to go back into, you know, why I might say negative things, I had to realize that a lot of it was because of my upbringing, which is what it is for most people. It's our upbringing, it's our culture, right? It's always our culture. Like, in my culture, if you go out the house smelling, like, I might get grounded if I went out the house smelling. I might get grounded. I'm not playing. I'm not playing. We do not play with stuff like that. And it's not a bad thing to be hygienic, but you don't need to add judgment behind it. All you have to do is add edification. Judgment is not edification. Judgment is insecurity. Two different things. Let me take a seat real quick. Woo. Let me get a drink of water and we'll continue. All right, let's continue. And be diligent to see through the eyes of the Father, and do not cling to the pleasure of your possessions, and your place of dominance above your fellows, or your position of esteem, but look only to that still small voice inside of you that will lead you to become one who loves the Father in ways acceptable to him, not to you, right? See, what a lot of people think, they think that if I'm not an Israelite, I'm not worth anything. So therefore, they fully exclaim to be them, and they feel like they need our identity in order to be of worth, and that's also partly our fault. But this is why, like, we can't be like doing stuff like that. Like, we have to let them know, like, listen, you don't have to be like one of us, you know, to receive some sort of grace or salvation or love. That's not necessarily true, because if they feel like that, then they're just going to they're going to claim to be us, and they don't need to do that, right? I'm sure you don't want them to do that. So you kind of have to let them know, like, listen, just be yourself. Like, you don't have to be me, just be yourself. We should tell everyone that. Even among the children of Israel, as I said before, not everyone is going to be on the same like level as far as their authority level or anything like that. Like, you shouldn't be getting jealous of others because maybe they have a bigger following than you or anything like that. Like, that's foolishness, bro. That's all semi-haza, right? You should be happy to be yourself. Be happy with the lot that the Most High has given you. Let's continue. And it will come to pass that he will lead you forth to times of refreshing, and to places of safety, and into the cool waters of a good life. And thus it was that these discussions were continuing on in their midst during their 40 years of travel. And even as Jared sought to find possessions in the village of Yathomiah, and Achee said to the Lord, and Achee said, the Lord forbade it. And this distinction did not cease, but continued, as it may be seen, came to the full in the life of Ziklag. And it came to pass. Whoa, did I cut out or something? That was weird. Yep, that's vanity. It is. And it came to pass that Ziklag began to be the foremost to declare that the only justification of their many travels was to find and secure land and the wealth of possessions and positions of dominance. And he declared that as they traveled, this was all they must seek after. And he said that it was only by the cunning of man that he would survive, and not by the hand of the Lord. And he said that God granted to some the skill and prowess in so much that it was their vision from God to rule over their fellows. And he said that it was only in this way the people could know who was the greatest of all. Now, you know, it's very interesting because this is something that's literally in Chinese lore. And this is something that we adopted when we conquered those lands. It is called the mandate of heaven. You guys can go look it up. It's the mandate of heaven. And that pretty much means that anyone who is ruling, they were given the mandate from God pretty much. Right? And this is kind of where it started. It started with Ziklag. It started with the Chinese, the Shi dynasty. That set everything else off. Let's continue. But Pagad began to put forth his influence and be the foremost to declare that all must direct their lives and travel was the hand of the Lord and his purpose for this people. And it came to pass that these two opinions followed the people until they arrived at the land of Sumerik. And it was even after the same manner as it was in the days of Cain and Abel. And the lives of Semihaza were old and ancient. And they said again that one ought to be compared to others, and that those found wanting ought to submit themselves unto the dominance of others in much the same way as it was with Cain and Abel. So they were declaring literally the exact opposite, that you should compare yourself to everyone else. But the reason why they're saying that is because if you're comparing yourself to someone who's like ruling, who's a king, you're always going to feel inadequate, and you're always going to feel like you need to get close to him, like you need to be modeled after him, right? That's where the deception comes from. You're always going to be feeling like, you know, you're not worth anything unless you're going to be like Ziklag, or you're going to be like David, or you're going to be like Solomon, or you're going to be like Caesar, or you're going to be like the president. It's the same thing over and over again, right? That's why we are not going to have a king. So people who are saying that David is the Messiah, David's our king, listen, listen, man. Those people, I don't rock with those people, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so they were pretty much traveling toward the land of Sumerik. Now I'm gonna show you where that is. Now I already showed you where the land of Kedal was, right? I showed you that it was the Turpan Desert, China's Death Valley, right? Now let me show you where Sumerik is. It's this right here. I think that's I forgot to say it, bro. I forgot to say it. But pretty much Sumerik, it means the land of the sharp rocks, right? And this is the land where they went to. I don't know if you guys can see that. But that's where they are right now. Let me show you where that is on the map. It's kind of like a history lesson as well as like a, I don't know. Let me see if I could show you. So it would be right there, pretty much. And from there, they traveled to the Great Sea. I forgot what river that is. I forgot, I can't remember. Let me see. Yes, don't be jealous of people's success. I wanted to start a YouTube channel, but the Spirit told me no. It'd be like that sometimes, bro. It'd be like that sometimes. Just follow what the Spirit's telling you. You know? I didn't even want to start one, like, honestly. Like, if someone else were to do what I'm doing, in a similar way or even better, I would have never made a YouTube channel. I would have just watched theirs. I only felt the need to do it because I just felt that people were not studying what I like them to study. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just do it then. Be the change you want to see. Now, if you want to see change, then, you know, maybe I would reconsider that. If you feel like you can do something or present something in a way that other people aren't, then I suggest you do. Or ask the Most High about that further. The Most High wanted us to choose him to be our heavenly power and be our leader, but we kept on choosing man to rule. Exactly. How is that righteous, bro? That doesn't make any sense. Bro, David stole someone else's wife. He sent them out to war. No, first of all, he was spying on her while she was bathing on a roof, slept with her, told her husband to sleep with her to hide the fact that was probably his child. Like, that was real evil, bro. But that's how men are, right? As righteous as David was, he still did things that were not really cool. How the hell is that our king? That doesn't make any sense. Right? But men, they just, I don't know, it's like they like to worship men, bro. It's a shame. Now, let's continue. And that those found wanting ought to submit themselves unto the dominance of others, in much the same way it was with Cain and Abel. And thus were the people pondering between these two options as they entered into the land of Sumerik. And the sorrow of Achee and Tipharah began to grow. And it came to pass that Poag, the father of Ziklag, died in Sumerik about a year after their arrival. And when he ate a strange herb in the field, and all the people mourned his passing. Before he died, he had cast aside the use of his lair, and built a house of bricks, like unto that which was known in the land of Shinar. And he built it to bring him comfort and to hold his possessions. Hold up. Shalom, I was only quoting Matthew chapter 12, verses 38 through 45, which is the sign of Jonas. All praise to the Most High Yah. Oh, why'd you take so long to reply to that, bro? Okay, understood, bro. Understood. I don't know if Abdullah's still here, but if he is, then hopefully he can clarify that. All right, let's continue. And it came to pass in those days that Ziklag had married, and laid hold upon all the possessions of his father after he died, and he refused to look after the welfare of. This is real evil, bro. This made me actually really sad. Like, I was like borderline like on tears when I was reading this part. I was like, damn, like that's messed up, bro. But let's read it. And it came to pass that in those days Ziklag married, and laid hold upon all the possessions of his father after he died, and he refused to look after the welfare of his mother. And Yathama was cast out of her house by the wife of Ziklag. So Ziklag's wife cast out his mother. That's crazy, bro. Shalom. John Singh on the phone. Who's that? But yeah, bro, listen, that's crazy, bro. It's similar to how Sarah casted out Hagar. And I don't know what Sarah's reason was, but that's pretty much what happened. Like, damn, his mother. And the Lord suffered with her again to fill her feelings of being abandoned. And thus we see the calamities of sorrow and despair. The tender hearts of the Lord and men must endure because of sin and selflessness and selfishness. Like, come on, how do you let your wife cast out your mother, bro? Like, how do you do that? Like, if that were to happen, I'm looking at her like, are you out of your mind? Like, why would you ever do that, bro? You know? But I guess to the wicked, the righteous are wicked. So I guess I can kind of understand. And it came to pass that Yathama was taken in again by Shema, and she lived out all the remainder of her days with her, and their souls were bound together in the Lord. And this is how we have to be when they're in distress. just help them out, bro. Just help them. The Most High sent them to you for a reason. You know. So let's continue. Now Sumerik was a place of great bounty, and the people lived after the manner of happiness. For the space of 4 years, the righteous dwelt in lairs by the banks of a river of water. Now what's funny is that in that national park in China, they found the oldest inhabitants living among the banks of that river. So there's a reason why this book is saying what it's saying. It's saying all this so you know exactly where their migration was, where it took place, and things of that sort, where you know where the land is. So there's no confusion, right? Now the people already read that. And tended to the care of their gardens. They saw to the nourishment and care of their animals. But the others went up upon the hillside and built themselves houses of bricks. And it came to pass that when the great sea was discovered, Ziklag determined with his companions to establish themselves in a permanent way, like unto the way of the people known in the land of Shinar. And they built a village of bricks. And they no longer sought out the righteousness of living in lairs, as had been their custom for so many years. But the righteous said the bricks closed out the Kadeshway, and they were loath to dwell in them, for they loved the righteousness of their lairs, and the weather in that place was warm. So, pretty much when they arrived at the Great Sea, I believe that's Shanghai. Yeah, I actually believe that's Shanghai, because it said they traveled down the river until they found the Great Sea. That would be Shanghai, from where that place is. See, Shishu, I forgot how to say this, bro. I forgot to say this, but from where that is, you can see the river. From down that river, that is where the city of Shanghai is. So that's where they are now. They are now in Shanghai. Hey.
Central American one?
Yeah. You want it?
That's why I sat there, by the way. So
Okay, no problem. Was it this one? Yeah. Let me see.
sorry for disturbing.
No, you're not disturbing me. I understand. Listen, I wish I asked more people about the music they were listening to. So don't worry about it.
It's what my playlist is made of. That's what I do.
I get it, man. I get it. It is from this artist right here.
Go ahead. Tulku. Do you know what that track was? Sorry.
Right here. Yeah, Journey of the Warrior. That's what it is. No problem. Check out the whole album is good.
Oh no, I am. I'm going to download it right now. I got the
Okay.
headphones.
All right.
Thanks,
Take care. No problem. Let me see. Layers? What do you mean? Hold on, I'm looking for the next song. All praise to the Most High. I saw him bobbing his head too. I was like, oh, he liked the song. That's cool though. That's cool. I'm a music dude, so I could appreciate people who appreciate fine rhyme, like Pharrell be saying, a connoisseur of fine rhyme. All right, let's continue. And it came to pass that the urgings of the Lord did not cease before the face of the people as they stood before the great sea. And to many it felt like the wilderness of Kedel, for no man knew the extent of the vastness of it. And the wind continually blew out to the sea, and away from the shore. And it was heard that it was said by some, that once someone should put forth into the sea, there would be no turning back to push against the wind. But the Kadeshway kept calling out to the righteous, and it was a familiar voice, and one in which they knew they could put their trust. And Tipharah would stand by the sea for long moments listening, and she knew that the vision of Nikash lay within the hills on the other side, and the vision of her children and grandchildren did not cease from before her face that day and night. And all her soul cried out across the sea, and obtained the will of the Lord before them. Listen, bro, this is very important, bro, because damn, I don't even know how to go about this. So the Most High is trying to lead them across the Pacific Ocean, right, to the Americas, right? He's trying to lead them to their land, their inheritance, right? But Satan is getting into their hearts and trying to tell them that, oh, like, you know, it would be like, why would the Most High want you to go over this vast sea, pretty much? Like, she's trying to put that doubt into them, pretty much. So we have to make sure that we understand that that's how the devil works. Like, he might want you to, let me think of how I say this. The Most High will want you to do something, like go on some sort of journey, and and pretty much Semi Haza, he's pretty much gonna go against it and say, well, why would he want you to do that? Why would he want you to be without provision? You don't even have a plan. You don't even have this. You don't even have that. That's all him. That's all Satan, bro. So that's a good example, bro. That's why I said this story is full of great examples. Facts, I make beats. Yeah, I used to make beats in high school too. I might start it again when I get my new laptop. All right. Let's see. Whoops. Now it came to pass that Ziklag could remember the accounts of his mother, that she would tell concerning the land of Kedal, where he was born. And for all his bravery in his heart, there was impressed a fear to venture forth. And he denied his inner urgings and determined not to cross the great sea, the Pacific Ocean. So Ziklag, he determined not to cross the Pacific Ocean, right? And it came to pass that in the village and dwelling places of Ziklag and his companions began to be permanent for them. And the people now numbered nearly 300 souls. And those who dwelt in the lairs by the river began to be fewer and fewer. And those who worshipped at the altar of Shabuah dwindled also. And those who clung to Shabuah and dwelt in lairs began to be considered old-fashioned. And the people did not continue to seek them for advice, except during illness and times of distress. And the religion of Shabuah was said by the villagers to be an old religion of former days, not suited for the land of Sumerik. So the people, they started to lose, like the same people who, were righteous, they're now starting to lose faith, right? And now the people are getting fewer and fewer who are actually following after the ancient ways of righteousness. Does lairs mean some sort of house? Oh, no, that's L-A-I-R, lair. That is some sort of like let me show you. It's some sort of like hole in the ground or something like that, or almost like a hobbit house. Like let me show you what I mean. Something like that, bro. Something like that. Because the whole goal is to be around the elements and the earth as much as possible. So they would build their dwelling places out of that. That's what it's talking about. And thus, by reason of all these forces and opinions and disputes and doubts and oppressions, Achee did not call upon the name of the Lord regarding what course they should take in their travels. And it came to pass that Achee and Tipharah and Shema and Yathomiah, and all who would went at the appointed time to declare Shabuah. As they approached the altar, a cloud had descended to cover it, and the voice of the Lord was gently speaking from within the cloud. And Abariel held the voice of Messiah, and he chastened Achee for not calling on his name to seek counsel for the journey across the great sea. And Achee heard the Lord from in the midst of the cloud, and Achee and all those with him were very intent to listening to their father. And they all repented before him, and they assured him that they would be obedient and grieved over their sins. And it came to pass when they had thus repented, the cloud lifted and went away, and the altar of Shabuah was wet, as if it was to be cleansed from the sins of their. As if to be cleansed from their sins and purification. I butchered that. And they proceeded to affirm Shabuah upon it. And after the declaration of Shabuah, they held a council one with another, and they determined that they would approach to speak to all the people and report the word of the Lord. And they were diligent to heed the voice of all the Erkedeshoit. So even though these people have now decided not to dwell within the same layers and to follow after Ziklag and all of his wickedness, they were still going to report to them that they pretty much spoke with the Most High. They were still willing to do that. So you have to remember that, guys. Like, sometimes I really don't like telling people things because I know they're going to reject it, but it's not about me, right? It's not about me and what I want to do. And it's the same thing with all of us. So we just have to tell people, like, let them make that decision. Don't withhold information. Let them make the decision to want to be wicked or want to not choose the Most High. Right? Let's continue. Oh, also, and, Achee, he was supposed to ask the Most High how he wanted him to cross the Pacific Ocean. Maybe Achee, he was losing faith. It didn't get into specifics, but, maybe Achee, he got weak. Right? What are you reading, brother? I thought I showed you already. I'm reading the still portion of the Brother of Jared, Volume 2, and I'm in chapter 1, verse 78. Oh, page 43. All right. Let me see. By the way, these are in part who some of the natives are. Achee's people, they went around New York and Canada and that area. And I believe that Jared's people went to Mexico. I believe that's the case. But when I get my computer, when I get my laptop, I don't know when, but whenever I get it, I'm going to do that video on a lot of what we're speaking on right now. And I'm going to show you. So don't worry. Yeah, no problem, bro. No problem. And it came to pass that when they returned from the altar, they called the people together and rehearsed unto them all that the Lord had said, and what Abariel had done for them in the altar of Shabuah. And Ziklag rose up, and he chided against his elders and said, we have labored diligently to make our dwellings of bricks and tithes, and you expect us to leave them to perish in the midst of a raging sea? Go back to your poor little dwellings, and trouble us no more with such things, and stir a spread among all those assembled. And he went on to say, know you not that a man must exercise cunning to survive? For man is evil from the day of his creation, and it is by his exceeding skill that he can overcome all hardships and adversities of that which you call the Erkedeshoit. Wow, bro. Look how disrespectful this person is, bro. He called Erkedeshoit a hardship and an adversity. You tripping, bro. For earth is our enemy, and it must be subdued, and the evil of the creation of man must be overcome and suppressed and conquered by diligence and steadily disciplined. And all this will not be accomplished by the prayers of women or those like unto them. And he departed out of their midst in the anger of his heart. And there were some who said they were ashamed of his rudeness, but he spoke of the concerns of their hearts also. So they were real fake. They were like, "Oh, I'm so sorry for what he said," but and low key they filled what he was saying and they agreed with him. Crazy, bro. This is Ziklag, bro. If you guys know the scriptures, Ziklag pertains, or the area of Ziklag pertains to the kings of Judah until this day. That's what it says. And it came to pass that Yathomaiah was greatly ashamed, that's his mother, Ziklag's mother, and embarrassed at the ill words of her son to his elders before the face of all the people. And she began to be sick with fever. And Achee prayed prayers of righteousness over her. And Tipharah gave Shema healing herbs for her. And Yathomaiah repented before the Lord. So, look at this, bro. So, his mother, Ziklag's mother, she felt ashamed and embarrassed how her son pretty much acted and what he said. But because of that embarrassment, that's actually a sin. And because of that sin, I don't know if you guys just heard what I said, but she was embarrassed. I pretty much I have a 10% mark on my phone. So we're gonna have to wrap up soon. But yeah, because she was embarrassed, she got sick. So we have to remember that sickness comes from sin, and embarrassment, or to be embarrassed of something, to be in any sort of negative mindset is a sin, and you're going to put sickness upon you. So it don't make sense to let other people affect, your emotional state. Doesn't matter who it is. Let their decision be their own decision. Now, of course, that's his mother, so she's gonna feel embarrassed, but that's not what we should do. All right, listen, I'm at 10%. I'm gonna have to wrap this up. Let's finish. And by these things and the tender care of Shema, she recovered, but refrained from walking in the midst of the people for the hardship of her shame. And in that year she was 50 and 2 years, and Shema was 75. And it came to pass that the righteous were obedient unto the Lord. And Jared was afraid to leave his house of bricks, but was compelled to come to the support of his elder brother, as it had been he who had requested of him, as to whether they should depart from the land of Shinar. And it came to pass that the children of Jared and Achee and Shema began to work timbers, and they began to assemble that which was required for the building of ships. And they made ropes and pottery and containers of their possessions, and they spun fabric and oiled it against the rain and weather. And all this was being accomplished in the midst of their encampment of layers by the bank of the river. And thus the preparations were begun for the crossing of the great sea, or the Pacific Ocean, before the eyes of all people. And it came to pass that the people of the village kept making buildings of bricks, and they hunted and tended their gardens for themselves, and would not have gardens any longer in common with their righteous elders, which was a thing of hardship for them, as they had to put in store much dried provision for their long journey. But the hand of the Lord was with them, and he eased their burdens, and made their crops grow in abundance, even to exceed those of the people of the village. And the people of the village were exceedingly industrious, and their wealth and substance began to accumulate, for they began to use a blue stone they had discovered. Why am I yelling right now, bro? Why am I yelling? For substance of their wealth, as a means of trading and obtaining possessions. But the people of the encampment were intent only upon preparing to cross the great sea. Now, why did I get so excited with that blue stone? Let me show you what that blue stone is. It's not really blue. I don't know why you put blue, but it's sort of blue. Sort of blue. What's that? Jade, or nephrite, was regarded as the most precious stone in ancient China, and it symbolized purity and moral integrity, prized for its durability and magical qualities. The stone was laboriously carved and polished into all manners of objects, from jewelry to desk ornaments. That was the blue stone. This is jade, bro. Jade. Jade. Why do you think the ancient Maya, well, we haven't gotten to that part, but pretty much the Olmec, they are the same as the same dynasty in China, the Shi dynasty, right? They have the same philosophies. This was jade, bro. In China, indeed. This is why I love this, bro. This is only talking about one place. This cannot be talking about anywhere else. Oh man, I'm 10%. Let me see. And the villagers thought that man was evil, and the elements of the earth were enemies to be overcome. But those of the encampment knew and trusted their beloved Erkadeshwe. And in their hearts they fervently hoped that man was good and holy in his creation. And they said, For how can a good tree bring forth good? I'm tripping, bro. I'm trying to rush. For how can a good tree bring forth evil fruit? Are not the seeds of a tree like the children of a tree? Could a soft and fragrant and loving tree bring forth the seed of a tree that was hard and cruel with thorns? It's a good question. And could a God who is holy create and love his children, who he had made to be evil by their natures? Surely our evil natures come to us by how we choose. Indeed. Indeed. You're not in the tribe? The tribe? What the hell are you talking about, dude? Bro, stop adding confusion, bro. Before I put you on timeout, bro. Like, you did this the other week, bro. Come on now. Stop being immature, bro. Listen, bro, this dude, I don't know, he has like a natural instinct to troll. So please disregard what he's saying. Anyway. And thus it was that Achee went with a heavy heart, being in the midst of this turmoil of soil between these two opinions, to seek out the Lord as they might receive air in the midst of their ship. And it came to pass that after Achee had altered the ships according to the word of the Lord, so that they might receive air, he pondered in his heart to find in what manner he might obtain light for their journey in their ships, according as the Lord had asked him. Now Semihaza had gained access into their community by means of the rebellions of Ziklag and those who supported him. And Semihaza was wroth with Achee. Listen to this, bro. This is the real part that I wanted to get to. And Semihaza was wroth with Achee and was lying in wait to oppress him. And his evil presence began to come against the righteous. And in particular, it was against Achee, seeing as he was a priest of the Most High. Notwithstanding, it had not been yet made known to him by the Most High. So Satan was coming against Achee in a heavy way because he was one of the 24 elders. But, you know, the Most High didn't tell him yet, pretty much. Right? And it came to pass that in his dreams in the night had begun to be hard upon him. And Tipharah began to stay awake at night to sit beside him as he slept. And she prayed mighty prayers for him. And in the midst of these struggles, Achee came into distress with fever, and his skin was burning with heat. And with healing herbs of Tipharah brought to him no relief. And she calling upon her neighbors for help, brought him out in the night to lay by the bank of the river. And she held by his heart, and she held his head in her lap with her legs folded under. And she slipped her hand into the cool water of the river to wet his face. And Semihaza drew near, and great darkness overshadowed them. And it was thick upon Achee, and it was as if he could not breathe. And when he thought he was about to perish for want of breath, he cried out to the Lord to be delivered. Alright, bro, hold on. Listen, you gotta go on timeout, bro. You tripping. And Semihaza approached before him, and he said, "You pretend to be a man of God." Listen to how Semihaza comes at him. He comes at him real greasy, bro. He comes at him real greasy, bro. "You pretend to be a man of God, and you desire to take these people upon the raging sea, so that they will perish. A loving God would direct you to do no such thing. You are poor and live in a house of reeds. You have no possessions, nor standing among the people. What manner of man are you to think to lead this people? Look at how he talks, bro. I'm sure you guys have experienced the same feeling of how when Satan talks to you, how degrading he is, and how he gets you to doubt what the Most High is showing you, right? I'm sure you've experienced this before. And who is the Lord that he would tell you such foolishness? You are old without strength. Stay here and become wealthy and respectable under the kind leadership of Ziklag. What the hell? The kind leadership of Ziklag. Hold on. For I tell you of a surety that it is the only way to overcome your evil and haughty nature. Your sins are too great. Bro, this dude tripping, bro. Your sins are too great, and now God does not care for you, nor bring you to mind. For now God does not love you, for you have humiliated him, because you have not called upon him for these 4 years. And you know of a surety that now he does not longer love you, nor hold you dear for the great severity of your sins. And God has sent me to declare these things to you, so that you will stop this foolishness of building ships. Yes, always know when, how to rebuke and have discernment. And it gets hard, bro, because listen, Ziklag has all these followers. He has 300 followers. Achee has 3. Right? So it's real easy to think that you're the one in the wrong. Right? It's real easy to think that. And Ziklag keeps telling them how poor they are. All the people are leaving. They think that they don't want to live in a poor estate anymore. So now all that's going to create an insecurity in you. And now this spirit comes and tells you that, oh, you're poor. You have nothing. You need to be under the guidance of Ziklag like everyone else. I don't know what the hell you think you're doing. You're actually really wicked for what you're doing. He's saying all this while being a righteous person of the Most High, and he doesn't even know it. Right? He's also going to make him feel insecure on that sin of not pretty much, calling upon the Most High, for not trusting in him. He's going to make him feel insecure of that. That's how he operates, bro. That's crazy, bro. That's a crazy attack that he's doing on Achee, bro. And it came to pass that Achee cried out in the agony of his souls, and he said, of this one thing I am certain, and I will declare it to you before your face, yea, even under the duress of my present affliction. And I tell you now that the Lord God loves me, even though I have sins, and in the knowledge of that love I shall not be shaken. Depart from me, O watcher of lies. Man, Achee is the man, bro. Achee is the man. Bro, Achee, but if you guys don't know, I hope that this live stream doesn't cut out before I say this, but Achee is the father of many of the Algonquin Native Americans. He's the father of the Algonquin natives. Now, the Nephites and the Lamanites, they came and mixed in with them later. But yes, he was the forefathers of the Algonquins. Didn't Achee suspect Ziklag when her wife kicked Ziklag's mother out? Achee should be aware that this dude is smoking crack. Well, listen, man, when Satan gets on you, it's like that strong presence. It's so strong of a presence that he almost makes you forget all things that actually make sense. It's real devious, bro. So actually, I'm not surprised that Achee, he fell for it. I'm not surprised, because it's happened to me before. I'm sure it's happened to many of us before. When he had said these things, and when he had said these words, he opened his eyes, and he found Tipharah holding him and washing his face with cool water. And she was quietly singing a song of protection that was given to her by Shem's wife. And it was one that the Lord had brought to her to ease the distress of her husband when he suffered from the onslaught of evil before the time of the flood. And Tipharah is a good man. You got to get yourself a Tipharah, bro. I say that in all joking, because you want whatever you have. You don't necessarily want a Tipharah, but you want a good woman. Anyway, because I'm not trying to compare anyone to anyone else, right? No one needs to be compared. Wait, so what kind of channel is this channel of tribes, the Hebrew Israelites or Native Americans? It's for the righteous, but I mean, it's kind of for both. That's a good question, actually. It's kind of for both, because I'm saying that the Hebrew Israelites come from the natives before they mixed in with everyone else. And those are their forefathers that they need to be following. We have many forefathers, right? We have many forefathers, but we need to follow after the forefathers who are righteous. So listen, it's for the children of Jacob, and it's for the indigenous people of the world. That's pretty much who it's for. And everyone else who's following them. That's what I make my channel for. Yeah, it's for both, because first of all, many of the natives are Israelites, but even those who aren't, if they're living righteously, then yes, this channel's for them as well. It's for anyone who's living righteously. It's not just for even those groups, but those are the groups who I focus on, right? Anyway, listen, my phone about to die, bro. And Semi-Haza could not stand before the faith of Achee and the love of the Lord, nor could he abide in the presence of this song. And the song says, Kadeshoe, come to my home. See the grandeur of my soul. Kadeshoe, sit beside me and speak for the Heavenly Father. Apukuya, and make me whole. See the handiwork of light. Stay to lighten up my night. Take my hand that I might know. In his presence I shall grow. See the vision of my life, to bring him near to end all strife. See the hills that are my place. Take me in and make me safe. I came from Elder to this place. Bro, he rapping, bro. You see this? This is an Eric Kadeshoy rap. I came from Elder to this place. Let us share in this wonderful grace. See what the Most High has done for me. Use your love to set me free. Elder. And this song of righteousness of Tipharah carried softly upon the waters. And Semi-Haza departed in haste away from before them with a cry. Bitch ass nigga. And this cry began to dawn in the land of Sumerik. And it came to pass that Achee received his strength back again. And the fever passed from him, and his rib rejoiced greatly. And all the Kadeshoy looked upon them and called them to their own, and they hovered about them as hen hovers over their chicks. And it came to pass that Achee said to his rib, do you know where I can find clear stones that will hold the light of the Lord? And she said, once when I was cooking on Mount Salem, the fire was put in small stones, was very pure and white. And the fire melted the stones into a lump, clear and bright in the light of the sun. And she told them where this place was. So pretty much this is when Achee finds the use of crystals. So what do crystals do? They contain the light of the Father. This is why I'm about to I'm about to be on that crystal wave pretty damn soon. You feel me? But that's pretty much all I have. That's the end of this chapter. You know, if you guys want to continue the story, you could read chapter 2. That's all I'm going to read for today. Two prophets together, two prophets together, Bible, Mayan Bible, as well as other books coming together. Indeed, bro, indeed. Good stream, brother. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I appreciate it. I try, bro. I try. Yeah, I just read this and I was like, you know what? I definitely want to bring this out. And I plan to do a video on this topic whenever I get my laptop. So I think it'll be good to introduce you guys so you guys maybe can read ahead and understand how Satan is going to come at you. And understand that he's nothing, bro. Like he's real weak. And when you show him that same boisterous confidence that he's showing you in righteousness, well, the same one that he's showing you in wickedness, you do the same thing back to him in righteousness. He cries and he goes into his shell, his corner, right? He's nothing, bro. Wonderful lesson. Thank you, bro, as always. Peace, love, and light. Thank you. Thank you, sister, for stopping by. Appreciate you. So yeah, bro, like we have to understand, what did we go over, man? We went over pretty much how the wicked react to certain things and how the righteous react to certain things. And we have to remember that we should always be content. Contentment is righteousness. Being content with whom the Most High made you, right? That will keep you out of a lot of trouble. Because Achee was content with himself. He understood that he sinned, but he didn't let his sin define him. So that strong attack that Satan tried to put on him, he rebuked the shit out of him, bro. He was like, listen, I've sinned, but the Most High still loves me. So get the hell up out of here, father of lies. When he says father of lies, Satan was like, oh. And he ran away crying. Like, if you really knew who he was, man, you'd be like, what? Like, how? Listen, bro, Satan is the Wizard of Oz, man. He acts like he's this big and bad thing, but he's not. This is what happened to Moses. The devil cried when Moses didn't accept him and exalted the Most High, Noka said. Exactly. He went into whatever hole he crawled out of. I'll be back, brother, for more of your lessons. All praise for the Most High, Yahweh, for leading me here. Yeah, no problem, bro. No problem, bro. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. I'm about to close out anyway, because my phone about to die. The abyss? Indeed, indeed, indeed. Yeah, bullies really are punks, right? All bullies are people who got bullied and they were weak. Listen, man, Satan, when I was in middle school, he sent people to bully me. But instead of me becoming a bully, instead I just said, listen, I'm not for that bullying stuff, bro. I'm not for it. By the way, Krishna is not an incarnate of Yeshua, and Nagas are followers of Murugan, a Hindu god of Canaanites. Oh, Murugan is the one who mentioned